Have you any idea how successful censorship is on TV? Don't know the answer? Successful, isn't it?
Oh, we've got a hell of a topic, folks. Excuse the noise, but I just couldn't resist the great weather. But that's about all that's great. Well, no. Let's take that back. We've got a lot of great things happening, folks. I want to share them with you. We're preppers, we're patriots, and we're going to have a good time with this one.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Okay, folks, I promised you a good talk, right? Well, guess what? We have the second quarter down 0.9%, 1% down on the economy. Well, according to many definitions from both sides of the aisle in times past, that meant we're in a recession. Yeah, that's not good news for you and me, is it? But we've already been living it, haven't we? Between the inflation, the availability of products that aren't available, and then more inflation. We've seen it. We're living it. It's a little bit tricky, huh? Yeah, but guess what? They're trying to redefine terms. I know this has been a big part of the news lately. Right? It just has been. Well, Peter Doocy of Fox News, and God bless him for doing it and being the man that he is, stood up and asked Karine Jean-Pierre, right, what's going on? And he said, why are you guys trying to change the definition of recession? And she said, well, we're not doing that. And he put her on the spot, folks, and he made her look stupid. He said, well, in 2008, President Biden's cabinet had a definition. It was 2 consecutive terms of reduced GDP, dropping GDP. And she kept trying to interrupt him, and she just embarrassed herself and showed us what's going on. Folks, in George Orwell's 1984, that dystopian nightmare of a novel showing what corrupt, tyrannical government will do to its people, what they did was they removed words. That's right, there were words that cannot be spoken. They removed words and they changed definitions. Always changing, always fluid, and the people had to spend time keeping up just so they could speak the language that was allowed to be spoken. That's what we have going on here. Folks, it's time to get loud. Peter Doocy is not backing off. He has set a very good example for all mainstream media. And of course, they refuse to follow because they're worse than lapdogs, folks. They're prostitutes, or prostitutes, if you will. The fight is on. Shit has hit the fan. Things are getting bad, nasty, worse. Why are we, the people, just sitting on the sidelines? That's why I encourage you to prep to action. Right? This is our time. This is our chance. This is our fight. This is our world. Get involved. And it goes far beyond Peter Doocy, and it goes far beyond recession. It goes far beyond the lies and bullshit coming out of the mouth of Joe Biden. It goes far beyond the lying little pig, Jean-Pierre, Karine. This is huge, folks. We need to stand up in every aspect for our lives. Now, down in the great state of Florida, Governor DeSantis has instructed his Department of Justice, the Attorney General's office, to investigate and go after the, how do we say this without getting in trouble? Well, I'm just going to say it, right? The drag queens that were parading around topless in front of children, sexualizing children at their bars. This was in Florida, folks. In fact, it's all over the country, but some footage came out in Florida. And so DeSantis said, well, I think that's against the law. Let's investigate. Let's get into this. And it's time, folks, to stand up and say no more. Right? Now, understand, again, communism, folks, hates America. So how do you destroy a country? Going back thousands of years, folks, it's done through the corruption of youth, corrupting the youth. Back in the 1960s, what did we have? Well, we had sex, drugs, and rock and roll was introduced into our country hugely. And am I saying that's a communist plot, sex, drugs, and rock and roll? No, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be used. That's right, folks. You take something that's going on, a social, entertainment, cultural thing, and you take advantage of it. What have they done now, folks? They've entered, well, since then, at that time and since then, entered university, then high school, then primary school, and now we have it, right? They're sexualizing children to destroy our country. They're changing the language to suit their political ends. It's time for us to get loud, and it's happening. Parents are fighting back at school boards. Are you one of them? Are you a grandparent who gives a shit and is doing something? Have you realized that it can't be someone else's job? It's up to us to do something. No longer can we let someone else handle it for us. We all need to get active and get loud. It is SHTF, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Right? No longer, folks, should we allow them to say, well, if you speak up, we're going to silence you. We're going to castigate you. We're going to cancel you. Right? Down in Australia, an Australian football team was told, and professional folks, professional team, mind you, was told, guess what? You're going to wear these woke, inclusive rainbow jerseys out on the field because we want to show that everyone's included. Well, everyone isn't included, folks. I'm not included. You're probably not included. Our culture isn't included. Everything is being substituted. Normal is being substituted for abnormal. Sane is being substituted, or rather insane is being substituted for sane. Perverted is being substituted for being morally decent. So this football team, guess what? 7 of them. And it's not the same as American football, folks. They don't have that many players on the field or on the benches. 7 of them said, nope, my religion, my morals, my culture says I'm not wearing this garbage. And they are boycotting. Yeah, there was a time, folks, when there was no politics in sports. It was sports for sports' sake. But that changed. They started introducing something into it years ago. And it was not a bad thing, right? Remember the pink rainbow, the breast cancer awareness? But it got out of hand. They started pushing it everywhere. We're all aware of breast cancer and testicular cancer and cancer and all the bad stuff. But they brought, that's a form of politics into it. And what have we seen? Just like with sex, drugs, and rock and roll, the evil took advantage of it and said, hey, if they can talk about that, then we can push our other crap, our other politics through sports. They got very loud. Have they not? Remember the Gillette crap? Right, the best a man can get, and they started putting men down and calling them toxic masculinity in products that were made for men. Well, they got woke and they got hurt for it, right? We need to keep pushing back and fighting back. It is time to do that. Get engaged in what's going on. Get engaged. There is so much happening. Being loud is it. Being honest is it. Whether it's through social media or your social circles, it is time to push back on these people. No more of this, well, you're intolerant, John. I can't believe you. Just talk to the hand because the face don't want to hear it. No, to just push right through that. You know what? Fuck you. Take your limp-wristed shit and get out of my face. You're not a friend of mine if you're going to tell me I can't speak. If my thoughts aren't good enough for you, oh, well, then you're not my friend anyway. So don't pretend to be my friend and then tell me to go away. Unbelievable, folks. And finally, to close out this episode, President Trump is suing CNN. You bet. CNN. Hasta la vista. See you later. We've got problems, folks. He's suing CNN for defamation of character, for their continual lies, and lies. Right? Trump is pushing back and fighting. Governor Abbott is pushing back and fighting, right? The great states of this country are pushing back. Governor DeSantis is pushing back. Peter Ducey is pushing back. Right? There are members of the media that are fighting, and we need to support them, and we need to do our own pushing back. They're pushing back over election fraud. I've got some great stories on that. In fact, I think I'll make that one more than likely part of tonight's newsletter that'll go out. And while we're there, be sure and subscribe to that at thepreparedmind.club. Send us your email and you will get, folks, just two newsletters a week. And it'll include discount codes for prepper items as well. So it's a 2-for-1 there. Now, for the time being, I'm going to check out. I'm going to get back into the news, see what the hell is happening, and I'll report back to you, right? I'll talk to you, and I'll bring it to you in a satirical format. Folks, it's time to stand up and defend ourselves. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. God bless America. Semper Fi.